Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And today we have some shocking breaking news for Ahsoka Season 2. As you guys are probably aware, production is about to begin here in the UK. But what we didn't know, my dear friends, and this is very much a developing story, is that many members on the crew who worked on other Mando-verse shows and Season 1 have apparently been let go. Not everyone, but many people including the cinematographers have been replaced. We'll talk about the way Lucasfilm ousted some of the team later in the video, but first, the cinematographer. Eric Steelberg and Q-Yen Tran have been replaced. And now, breaking news, Stephan Pehrsson will officially serve as the cinematographer for Ahsoka Season 2. He's worked on Wednesday, Doctor Who, and Black Mirror. And the reason this is so massive is we already suspected Ahsoka Season 2 was going to have a different vibe to the first. Maybe more reminiscent of Andor, considering the on-set locations. And they're no longer relying on the volume. And with Andor in mind, something crucial to note about this guy, he's very close friends with Toby Haynes. They worked together on Doctor Who and Black Mirror. And on Star Wars, Toby Haynes famously directed 6 episodes of Andor Season 1. The first arc, episodes 1 to 3, and then episodes 8 to 10.
There is one way out.
Considering Toby Haynes isn't directing on Andor Season 2, with his long-term collaborator Stephan working on Ahsoka's second season, is it possible Haynes will direct an episode or 2 of Dave Filoni's show? He wanted to return for Andor Season 2 but couldn't. Scheduling issues came up. But he has expressed he would love to return to Star Wars, so could it be for Ahsoka Season 2? In either case, the change of cinematographers, the shuffling around of the creative team, the recent firings we spoke about, I think are all very good signs for a change of tone and style for Ahsoka Season 2. It sounds like it's going to be more dramatic, more serious, dare I say more mature and dark. Best case scenario, when you're talking about the Peridea stuff, we might get something more atmospheric, moodier, rich and vibrant depth. And I love when shows do that. I really love when second seasons build upon the first, but feel more evolved, more mature. Especially when you're talking about the New Republic stuff. If it's more akin to the nuance and complexity of Andor's political exploration, I think this is going to be a huge win. I genuinely feel as though Season 2 is going to be different, but better different. Build upon the best elements of the first season, which, to be honest, wasn't perfect, did have its problems, and whether it's Star Wars or not, I love when second seasons advance the best elements of the first, but also dare to grow beyond them. And I know Dave Filoni has his critics, but getting in fresh blood into Lucasfilm, not just for Ahsoka, I spoke about the recent vice president changes, I really do believe it's a sign of good things to come, and I think this choice for Ahsoka is great. And I'm just going to say this, the cinematography on Wednesday, which I recently rewatched, and I can't wait for Season 2, is probably the series' standout element, blending gothic aesthetics with modern visual storytelling. It was able to retain a Tim Burton tone, with a rich colour palette, and not to mention the dim lighting, the use of shadows, the somber feel to it, that really evoked a mysterious atmosphere, reinforcing Wednesday Addams' macabre world. If he brings a similar strong visual composition to the likes of the world of Peridea, the Second Galaxy, Ahsoka Season 2, filmed on location in the English countryside, is going to be such a visual treat. I've often said how shows like Obi-Wan and the Acolyte have really poor colour grading. It feels like a TV set, and not the galaxy far, far away, or washed out. I didn't have the same complaint for Ahsoka, but with someone like Stephan now on board, I'm doubly reassured it's going to look great. This is a massive win for live-action Star Wars. A couple of weeks ago, I kind of had my suspicions based on things I've heard, a couple of rumours here and there, that Ahsoka Season 2 is taking a different direction. Dave Filoni took on board a lot of the feedback from fans, from Lucasfilm, and like I said, it's going to feel much more akin to Andor. And from 1 or 2 reports that have been cropping up online, it looks like they've gotten rid of a lot of the Los Angeles crew that was working on Season 1, but also other Mando-verse shows. Ahead of Star Wars Celebration, ahead of filming on multiple Star Wars movies, Lucasfilm is doing a big reshuffle, really clearing house. And you know what? Considering filming hasn't even begun on Ahsoka, it's good they're doing this in advance. I do feel bad for a lot of those people though. This person says, it's a tricky situation. On one hand, for my friends on production, it's upsetting to be let go, with Mando and Grogu being the last project. That's the last one they worked on. On the other hand, the show will probably look and feel a lot better from an audience standpoint. And I suppose, at a time where we're talking about Disney and Lucasfilm needing to make better quality Star Wars content, sometimes studios have to make decisions like this. If they're serious and change is needed, then sometimes you need different creative voices and a different team. In the case of the Mando-verse, I'm excited for Dave Filoni's script. Maybe some of his creative ideas are grandiose, and they needed someone of the caliber and quality of Stephan Pehrsson to come in and fulfill that vision. And if it's going to mean interest goes up, word spreads, a hike of subscribers come back to the streaming platform, then that is what Disney and Lucasfilm need to do. I have a good feeling about it. There was always that voice that said, can they pull it off? The limitations of the volume have been made apparent time and again. But ever since 2024, and now we're a week into February 2025, as of the recording of this, every single update has given me increasing hope. Season 2 is going to be epic. They're making it differently, and it sounds like they're doing it right. And all of these changes are happening before Season 2 gets going, and that's crucial for things going smoothly. We've heard of so many production issues on other projects, but with all of these changes coming into play before Ahsoka starts, the canvas on which the art can be created is in place for a really well-made show. And you might say I'm too optimistic, but there are certain parts of Ahsoka's first season that got me so pumped. Baylan's replacement looks like he's going to do a great job. Rory McCann was one of Ray Stevenson's greatest friends, so he's got a personal investment to wanting to embody the best he can Baylan Skoll. I truly have my fingers crossed. It's all sounding very great. Another thing I was thinking about is if we are getting some of those darker elements of the first season. Obviously, Thrawn and the Grey Mothers have just arrived on Dathomir, so there's more of the Night Sister stuff. But also, if Ahsoka's going to have some intricate conversations with Anakin's Force Ghost, we might see flashbacks to something like Twilight of the Apprentice in live action. There might be some more virtual fights, whether it's in the world between worlds or who knows. We know there are going to be Clone Wars flashbacks, and they might decide to go more gruesome, maybe lean into some of Ahsoka's trauma from back during those days. But one thing which I remember Star Wars fans being so hyped about was when there was the interchangeability between Anakin and Vader in the world between worlds. We know Hayden has again a substantial role in the second season, but what do you guys think? I want to know your thoughts on today's Ahsoka news in the comments down below. Are you a fan of the idea? Why so? Or why not? And if you enjoyed this video, guys, as always, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and may the Force be with you, always.